When logic meets spirituality,
Yep,
can it coexist?
it can, but you have to work at it. You really have to have an open mind.
But it's
Spirituality is more like energy, perspective, how you connect with that higher power, your higher self. And I went into this journey 3 years ago now, by this point.
I'm very open to everything. I will listen. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you, but I will listen.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Emotionally Logical Podcast, where I feel everything.
And I question everything.
And together we're here to show you that we can coexist and have a great marriage together. But before we get into it, we want to share some ideas that you can have today, tomorrow, this week with your partner for dates. You want to tell them?
Yeah, so the dates that we did this week, or we will call it today, we have Karen's birthday tomorrow, so that'll be something. But as far as like dating today, the thing that we went to the Nook, it's like little bookstore / coffee shop, local owner type thing, was really nice. Like they call it like the Nook bookstore. Yeah, small little place, books everywhere, but like nice little books. Her own little choice, I'm guessing. Not too big, not too small. Nice, relaxing environment. So went there just to kind of grab some coffee, talk, hang out, post workout. And the nice thing was that being together and training together, like we did legs today, but the thing was we worked out and then went to this bookstore, coffee place, whatever. And to be able, we went downtown. I had to go to the VA for something, but the funny thing was, long story short was, I told her let's go grab a beer before we start, recording and getting ready to record some episodes for the podcast. And it feels good to be able to just go to one of these local spots that we like in town and go grab literally one beer, sit at the bar, grab a beer, talk some more, and then take off. And like we're not even dressed up or nothing, just in gym clothes still from our workout. So it's really nice. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Again, something like simple as that. Is going to grab a beer with your partner, talk about some things. We were talking about this, the podcast and the day and whatnot, and then go home. So it's pretty nice. I don't know what you think about it.
I liked it. I feel like that also gives us moments to be able to just enjoy our own company. Look at new places around town that I'm not used to doing, but doing it with you is more fun because we experience the whole thing together, going to new places around town. And El Paso is pretty big if you think about it. So going to that little bookstore, going to that one beer, nice moments. You need to have those moments in your relationship, marriage, whatever you are in. But I think having that moment together is special. So go out and have a coffee day. Go out and have one beer. You don't have to get crazy. And it was during the day. It doesn't have to be nighttime. Mm-hmm. Like it was literally in the morning, first one. Was it like, not even morning by that time. It was like 11, 12. And then the evening was around 5. So go ahead, try it out. You never know, you can spark up a conversation. But today, we do want to share with you how my spirituality leads into his logical mind when it comes to conflicts or issues that we come with together. And I don't know, but whenever he has to deal with things regarding stress, it's always logical. It's always straight to the point as far as it is what it is. This is how I think. But I always lean to my spirituality side.
When logic meets spirituality.
Yep.
Can it coexist?
It can, but you have to work at it. You really have to have an open mind. And to give you an example, what do you want to share to give that perspective how I lean into it?
Well, we'll go into the first topic first. Why do you lean in spirituality in the first place?
I feel it's more calmer in a sense. The perspective of spirituality in tough times. I think it's more open.
Sorry about that. Before you get going, just in case people don't understand what you mean by spirituality is, obviously, what is it with spirituality? And I guess explain it to them.
So spirituality is more of how you connect with the world. So like the universe, it being God, whatever you want to call it, a higher power, right? And not necessarily religion, like Christianity or Catholic. No, it's like out of that realm. It's more of...
that's faith. Faith-based.
Yeah, faith-based.
It's
Spirituality is more like energy, perspective, how you connect with that higher power, your higher self. And I went into this journey 3 years ago now, by this point, and I really dove into it because I felt it connected more with me. It resonated more as far as connecting with what I am capable of manifesting, attracting, how life can be. And also it ties into how emotions can manifest into your body. And so there's other topics, titles that you can dive into that I am not 100% expert at, but what I've learned has really helped me look at life differently. So, for example, when it comes to emotions, I learned how one side of the body is feminine and the other one is masculine. And they both show different things when you're going through different situations in your life. So the left side is more feminine and the right side is more masculine. So whenever you're not in balance, and this goes to everyone, you could be a female, male. At the end of the day, every living soul has that half to balance out. Everyone loves to be loved. Love comes with femininity. And then there comes the masculinity of alpha. Like, I gotta get this done. I have to be straight on it. I have to be strong. I have to, I don't know, how do you say it? I have to be a giver, like protect. That kind of essence of being an alpha. And that you have everything under control and you have to have it under control. So these both energies balance out. And yeah, that's how I started viewing life and how I have to reflect on which energy am I leaning more towards. But with this topic, it leaned more to how you are too when we met again after 11 years. So before, how I showed you how I saw the emotions onto our bodies, each side, left, right, and I gave you that spiel. In life, how do you go about it? Why do you go so logical about life? Why does it have to be so hard and like tough?
I guess my thing has come to how I was brought up in my adult life. The thing that I always talked to you about too, though, and maybe people might resonate with it, was having a father like mine. It was very, the stuff that you talk about with spirituality, I've always told you, I do understand what you mean by it. And I do believe in a lot of it because how my father brought me up with, you could do whatever you put your mind to and you get, the confidence. My confidence came from my father. My confidence came from that mindset that you could do whatever you put your mind to, which I've always used in whatever I've ever done, which is why I feel like I've been successful in everything I've ever done was because of that mindset when I was a child, which I feel like is spirituality-esque in that sense. Like that's a form of spirituality because there's no facts behind it. It's just believing yourself. And he always told me, you have a big heart and always have that big heart type of thing. And so, but as I've grown up and went through the Marine Corps, when I was at the sheriff's office, and then now doing business, they all have their own hard spots in a sense. And I don't know, it just comes down to, I still have the same mindset as far as like the confidence I could do whatever I put my mind to, which is why I've always, every time I have an idea, I will run with it and I will make it happen regardless. But I guess I'm just more real with life in the sense of, even though I have that same mindset, I guess I'm not blindly running like I usually do. And sometimes I wish I could just blindly run in that sense.
What do you mean by blindly run? Like, what does that mean?
Just more in the sense of I will question it first of the facts. I'm all about facts. What is the facts at stake? And and I'm very analytical now. And I honestly don't know when that even came because I've always just been very confident in making stuff happen. But for some reason, I've just been very analytical. And I would say the last few years. And I guess it just comes from questioning everything. As I've grown up, in my late 20s and now in my 30s, I just question everything. And it could just be from just life, the world, everything. Like, I guess a small example would be Bigfoot, right? Yeah. Love Bigfoot. Growing up, my dad's a big Bigfoot person. And I've been a big Bigfoot person. And I guess it just comes down to the more I'm learning, and I'm very open to, one thing I will say about myself, I'm very open to everything. I will listen. It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you, but I will listen. So let's say I'm watching the Joe Rogan podcast, right? And he's having all these guests on who are either Bigfoot experts or an expert in some form or whatnot. And then him talking about like, well, I'm a hunter, and he has all his friend hunters on there as well. So these two different people, two different perspectives, and the hunters are always saying, well, we're out here deep in the woods. Like, we're not talking like, just going to, they're going deep in their camp, day packing. We're not on multiple days, and not one type of even inkling of a Bigfoot type thing. But then you have like people who will literally go by like, yeah, this is like crazy. Like, it's always a typical person that's just, yeah, I've seen Bigfoot, whatever. It's always this crazy kind of story. I used to love the crazy stories, but now as I listen to them, I'm like, well, that makes sense. The facts is you have hunters who go deep in there and not one has heard it. We're talking all over the world, not just in one state, multiple states across the nation, deep in the woods, and other countries as well. And there's like, I don't get what these people are talking about.
Yeah.
It's always a typical person. So I'm just giving an example of it. It's like, now I'm like, well, shit, that does make sense.
Like, you need evidence to.
Yeah, because before I would blindly accept it. Bigfoot, love the story, it's real. Ghosts, love the story, it's real. Everything, it's real. Now I'm just more like, well, the facts have come to place. A lot of it has been debunked with like something wrong. It's like, okay, this doesn't make sense then. Even if something as simple as like Hitler being killed in the bunker, and now things are coming up at surface level. It's like, well, the skeleton of the person they said was Hitler was a lady. So it's like, now I'm questioning everything in my life. So now, well, I guess that's kind of where it came from. Now I want to give you the facts. The facts now.
But aside from the conspiracy stories,
theories. I love it.
Aside from that, like reverting back to like life itself, like stuff we go through, problems, everyday stuff.
I still want the facts though.
No, yeah. But my question to you is, when you've gone through tough times, or like when you don't know how can you say, what choice to take in this whatever situation, right? But it's life. Like you're like I don't know if I should do A or I should do B. Like, what way should I go? But have you ever like felt that itch in your heart where your heart like is not physically telling you per words like choose A, but it's giving you a feeling like I feel like I need to choose A, but then your mind is like B. Have you ever felt that? And you ignore it because you're so analytical. So you're like, no, I need to think with my brain only. So I will not listen to what I am feeling, which is the heart, like either tingling, I don't know, like it gets tight or something. And you have the question in your head. You're not even saying it out loud, but your body is physically like kind of making you feel like, okay, maybe you should go with A. That instantly, but then your analytical mind is like, no, the facts are this, only focus on the facts, go with B. Like, have you ever?
Happens all the time.
And have you ever given a chance to A, where your heart, where that feeling is like telling you, just give it a chance, like try this, ignore for one time, like the analytical mind.
Oh, reaching out to you. Because the facts of reaching out to your mom.
I'm gonna move this plant. I feel like this is in the way. I can't even see you.
You're gonna mess up.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, clear view.
Like I said, I am open to a lot of things. I will go against it sometimes, but the facts of reaching back out to you, knowing that we dated when we were younger for a short time, and knowing how it ended. Well, I wouldn't say ended bad. It's just there was that strong connection and it broke. So it was more just in the sense of like, why would you waste your time, Yeah.
But to give an example, I mean, that is reaching out with your feelings.
Yeah.
It's not so much analytical, because if you see our story from the outside, it's kind of like those stories of like, nah, really? Like, you're really about to do that? Like, you're going to touch that subject again when you just moved on from it? Like how people would see it from the outside.
Yes.
But, well, so like that's more analytical.
That's when I come into play, when I'm talking to my best friend Josh, and it's in the sense of like, he always tells me like, that is one thing he will say, where it's like, when you, again, back to the whole thing, when you think of something and you want something, you just go for it and do it. And so even though I am very analytical, when things touch my heart, I will go against it. But it has to be able to touch my heart. If it doesn't, I'm like...
Yeah, then you lean to the analytical. Yeah,
which is 9% of the time. So the 10% of the time, in a case like that, where in our situation, to kind of give the viewers a background, was this, when we're I was single and we were driving out and down in Southern California with him, and he was asking me, what is it that you want? I've been married before, I'm divorced, and it's like, what is it that you're wanting in a woman? And I was telling him all the things I would want as far as like affection, someone with more affection, and someone that was words of affirmation and just giving me all that kind of love that I would want. That's kind of like that is a non-negotiable for me now. I'm gonna get someone that is like that with me. He was like, oh, you mean it's like someone like Karen? And I was like, oh yeah.
Shout out to Josh.
Because obviously he knew you back when we were younger. At that point, it was like 12 years ago. And then even though it wasn't like a long relationship, he just knew that, like, oh shit, this is pretty crazy. I don't know girls are like this, And so at that point, it was more listening to my heart. Okay, I get that feeling again. And it's like, all right, even though factual, she probably might not want to speak to me because we haven't spoken in 12 years. 2, if I do reach out to her, why is she going to give me the time? Because it's been 12 years. 3, she could be married or whatever.
That's your analytical mind, right?
Yeah. She could be married. She could have moved on. Like, you're risking a lot just reaching out in the sense. You know? Imagine reaching out to a married woman like, oh, what are you up to? And like, oh, well, I'm married.
Well, I mean, you didn't reach out to me. You reached out to my mom to see.
No, I reached out to mom because to me, it was more comes back to our relationship. We're all together was having more respect in that sense of like, I'll reach out to mom first. I don't know what it is. It's just, it seemed right to me to do it that way. I had your number. My thing was reaching out to mom through Facebook. You couldn't have her number, but I'd rather do it that way first. And then I guess show some kind of respect, not just reaching out to you.
Yeah.
Because again, the factual stuff too. What if that is a situation? What if you were married in that sense? That'd be kind of, I don't want to just reach out to you and then your husband be like, what is.
But I mean, overall in this situation, you shut up that analytical, actual potentials. And then you went, yeah, I get it. But now that we know more and more how we are, how I'm more spiritual when it comes to hard stuff. I give in more. Don't get me wrong. I still think of facts.
We're different in that sense that you're 90% spiritual.
Yeah.
And I'm 90% logical.
Yeah. So how we can show an example how you were like, what the is she talking about? This girl is crazy. Why is she telling me this stuff? Like, it makes no sense. Tell them how you came back and I was telling you a solution that you were kind of like, nah, this girl's crazy.
Well, at first when we started talking again, the funny thing was, I don't know much about spirituality. I don't know much about the space.
Because he's so
factual. And then my biggest thing is analytical, factual. Like Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, love him. Like, why doesn't everyone think like him? That's how everyone should think. And I remember you telling me the spiritual stuff. And before you explained it to me, because when you told me like, oh, I like crystals, I like spirituality, I like the colors and stuff.
Shoot, sorry guys.
I like these pyramid things. But at first though, when you said it, it makes someone think that there's an extreme to each thing, right? Like you could be like someone who likes something, but extreme of it.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
And so my first thought was like, this girl's fucking crazy. Like she's one of those like rock, like crystal people who's fully in it. Like
I'm gonna read your future.
I was like, this is because you were not like that when we were younger.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, she turned into one of those. Like I don't want to. I think I just.
But I mean, you gotta give them context on why you started thinking that, because
that's what most people think. The extreme side of it.
No, yes, the extreme side of spirituality is. But when we were touching that, like when that conversation started emerging, when you started sharing with me your pains, but not life pains, like physical pains.
So, but yeah, I'm just saying my initial thought was that like she is crazy, and this might not be the same person.
And yeah, he married the crazy.
We might have to move on. We might just have to move on. She might be.
We might just have to move on. Okay.
I'm just saying, but you're not that crazy. Like you're not that person.
I mean, hey, I don't think people are crazy if they believe in all the crazy.
But you also understand the reality of it too. You know what I mean? You're not fully in it. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's people could like something and support something, but they could be on totally one side of the spectrum. And there is people like that in your space who are totally on that crazy side. But you're like, no, I believe in this stuff, but I know it's obviously there's Still,
there's the balance in between.
yeah. So you're in the balance perspective of it. You're not fully like, I'm just thinking like that girl with the tarot card and she says like my life's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, no, like you still understand there's work that goes behind it type of
Yeah.
thing. And it's just more of that belief again. I'm just having confidence and belief from it. But when you first said it, I was like, oh, she did, you know, I'm just gonna have this crystal next to me and my life's gonna be great type of thing. And I was like, she's crazy. But one thing I will say was when we first started talking, I was having a lot of pains in my left side, and I was having them for 2 years. So I was going to physical therapy for 2 years at that point for my neck, and the pain came out of nowhere 2 years before that, and I could never understand where it was from, and it started in my trap, and then it went to my neck, and it was this horrible pain. Like it went from like just being like an annoyance to being like where it would just be chronic, like just every day, chronically for hours, and it would just come up out of nowhere. And then it went from my neck all the way down to my leg. So all you could touch my foot, and I could feel it in my neck. It was just one sided pain, and it got to the point where lifting, like I have no vascularity in my left arm, and lifting was hard. I'm so used to doing 30 plus pull ups to doing one, but doing the one pull up hurt, and not like a muscle hurt, like a pain hurt,
like nerve pain.
So I couldn't do it. Yeah, so I couldn't do it. Or a push up, I couldn't do 2 push ups without it being in so much pain and so tight that it hurt.
Somehow you couldn't even pick up a mug, like.
Well, I couldn't even pick up a coffee cup. Yeah, couldn't even pick up my kid. My kid was a little at the time, and I couldn't do nothing. Every single thing I did in lifting wise, I could not do, and then even running because it affected my foot would hurt. Even walking would hurt. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I started losing muscle tissue, started losing weight, and then it was just a bad time. And no matter what, no doctor. I went to a doctor, like I said, all the time. Went to the physical therapist twice a week, every week. And people, they understood where the pain was coming from. They found it, and they're like, okay, it's right here. Okay, now it's turned into bulging disc. But did you get in a car accident? No, I just literally woke up like this one day.
I woke up like this.
Yeah, no one could figure it out, and no specialist could figure it out. And then I remember you telling me, give perspective on that. What I remember you telling me was, it has to do like, masculine and feminine energy.
Yeah, because while he was explaining this to me, I was listening and then I started asking questions. Well, what was going on in your life? Meanwhile, this was happening when the pain started. Like, is that when you start having issues in your marriage? What happened? Other things that he has gone through. And then he started sharing the shooting, how your marriage started to crumble little by little by little, how more emotions were coming up, like you trying to share things, but you couldn't just because you did not feel comfortable to. So everything was being held in.
Well, yeah, but to me, the biggest thing was because I had my breakthrough with my shooting and the whole stigma and mental health stuff, but something was still breaking me down. And I think what we pinpointed was because when me and my ex-wife had broken up, she did tell me that, I stopped loving you 2 years ago, and if it wasn't for our kid, I would have left you 2 years ago. And if you put the timeline in of that pain starting, it was like that's when the 2 years started. So it was like, again, it sounds crazy, but it was like that body knew she no longer loves you anymore, wherever she made that switch. And now it was appearing as chronic pain. Well, first as a small pain in the trap.
I think the small pain would be more when you started noticing changes, no? Like in that marriage, and you started noticing them, but not wanting to.
Not noticing,
really...
I think more like a slight feeling, like my body, not me. Mentally, my logic mind was like, no, but the body's feeling a small pain to just like, I guess it telling me, like shaking me, like with my whole left side practically.
What's going on? Like, come on.
So even after we separated, the pain was just getting just as bad, just as worse, and sticking around and appearing. And it was the moment that we started talking, and you're telling me all this stuff, and I was like, she's crazy. That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I've never heard of this. Wow.
Yeah, that makes no sense here. There's no doctor figured out, no physical, I've been going to physical therapy. Yeah, it has gotten better.
Tell him how your masseuse.
Yeah, it has gotten better and whatnot. And even my masseuse was like, everything, I could feel everything, like, what's going on, whatever. And she was telling me some of the stuff that you're talking about too. Like I believe in that stuff, because I do I massage everyone, and stress comes in the form of pain in people's body, a chronic pain. I was like, okay, she's crazy too. And I got 2 crazy people talking to me about stuff. Then, but this at this time we haven't seen each other. It was over just talking over the phone.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was telling. Oh, I got in touch, and she's crazy, talking about my body, whatever. And she was like,
This girl got problems.
honestly, Gilbert, can I tell you something? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Because she's been my masseuse for at that point she was my masseuse for like 4 years. So she's seen me good, and she's seen me go into this whole stage. And she's like, honestly, I do believe in all that energy and being a masseuse. I believe in that stuff, the wellness stuff inside of energy.
The holistic healing, how the body
energy,
really takes into energies and stuff.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, she's crazy too. And but it was what was my breakthrough, because again, I had a breakthrough with stigma mental health. But again, I'm very open. Even though I would say you're wrong and I don't believe that and you're crazy, my mind is still very open.
It's like I plan to see it and then you still
no, because my mind's open only because the pain is so bad. I literally said it out loud to so many times to myself that I will do whatever it takes just to make this pain go away. Like, I don't even care if someone grabs a knife and carves it out of me. That's how much I want it gone. So like that's why I was telling myself, like, I will do whatever it takes, whatever the treatment, whatever they want to do, I will do it, because that's how bad I want it gone.
Yeah.
And so, but even though I'm saying that doesn't make no sense or you're wrong, my mind's still open to the idea, maybe, whatever. I'm not gonna I'm gonna tell you wrong, but it's still open to it. But what really was the breakthrough was when I did go see you for the first time, and then we hugged, and then we were talking, and then it was just like that instant connection as if we were young again. Like if not a day went by type of thing, like that comfortness of that puzzle piece stuff, that we have always had. So being around you and being with you, and just you literally holding on to me, because you like to cuddle. I wasn't, again, I haven't been used to that in years. So then we started doing it to me just as we were just watching TV. And then I remember going home and you had asked me, oh, like, how's your pain going? And I was like, I don't remember having pain this whole weekend. And I went home with no pain. And then as the day went on, like a day later went by, then the pain came back. But I learned like, oh, like it's because of that. Like my body was just wanting
love, that comfort, femininity, energy. Yeah. Like you needed to be feminine. And that is not bad. It's always like looked down upon for some reason.
Not needed to receive.
Yeah, you needed to learn how to open up to it more and actually accept that you needed it. Because I don't feel many men are able to, with confidence, say, hey, I need love. Like, I need you to hold me. I need you to, like, see me. I don't know. I need you to kiss me. I need you to tell me positive affirmations.
That's affection.
Yeah, overall. But what I'm saying is I don't think many men have that. Maybe not confidence. I guess they don't feel comfortable.
I feel like most men want it, but they might get it enough from their partner or whatever, just enough,
Yeah.
Like, remember, my situation was more the extreme. My ex-wife was not affectionate. She even said, I am not affectionate. You know this. Take it or leave it type of thing. So I went years with, like, I would give my ex-wife would give me side hugs, Again, but the sexual part of it was just like every other week or every once or two, or, once in 1 or 2 months, And then there was no cuddling whatsoever, like zero cuddling. And there was no holding hands. I remember holding her hand one time and she's like, what are you holding my hand for? Like, I'm not going nowhere. Mm-hmm. So my situation was more extreme. So like my body literally had deprived of any whatsoever affection. It wasn't like there was nothing there. So like, I feel like guys who kind of feel in that sense, it's more because like, they have some of it. So they can't really comprehend, Well, maybe my wife does this. My wife that she's a girl. Like she gives me hugs. She gives me kisses. Or she'll, hold on to me sometimes. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean they're holding on back, but they're holding on.
Yes.
Yeah. My life was not like that. It was just having a best friend. A really good friend I could talk to all the time, and I had none of that. So when I did get that, it was like a medicine. I don't know, it felt great. I was like, oh my gosh, it feels amazing. And like my body went from literally within a week of just spending time with you in the weekend, the pain went away. And then obviously came back when I went back home, but I started seeing you continuously. Every time I would see you, the pain would just be gone, absent, never be seen whatsoever. But at that point, I started gaining weight again. 1 pound, 2 pound, 5 pounds. My pull-ups went from 1 back to 30. I was not deadlifting the bar whatsoever, back to 300, back to 3 plates on each side. I went from, now you see me to squat today. I went from literally not ever squatting barbell whatsoever in years. We're talking like maybe 8, 9 years to squatting heavy barbell.
That's crazy.
And push-ups, you saw me do, just
Yeah.
knocking out push-ups. Like
and
crazy.
literally you do them like nothing, like you're not even in pain.
Yeah.
And
it
like
feels
at the
good.
beginning you were scared. You were like, wait, I haven't done this in X amount of years. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm scared. And then I would tell you, what are you talking about?
It's like whatever
Like,
was whatever was there is gone. Again, I don't know how to explain it, but my body went back to fully relaxing and be able to do what it needs to do now.
Yeah.
It feels great.
And this was not,
That's when I was, maybe
yeah.
she is right. Like, that makes...
Because now you saw the facts, like you lived through it.
There's the facts, yeah.
But now your mind is seeing it. It's like how they say, you gotta see it to believe it. You know? But I think of it the other way. You gotta, how is it? How's the vice versa?
Have faith.
Yes, you can
believe.
No, you gotta believe before you see it. There, you gotta believe it before you see it.
My zipper's been down the whole time.
It's fine. It's real. But you know what I mean? Like, I am more in that sense because I feel more magic can happen when you believe first. You believe that goal is already there for you. You believe that you already achieved X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't have to see it because I know I'm going to get it because I know I'm going to do the work to get there. I don't have to be like, oh, I believe it once I have it here. And it's like, no, that's such a waste of time because then there's no excitement, you know? But yeah, overall, we came together by teaching each other like, hey, spirituality can be part of your healing journey and also how you can view conflicts. And you saw this. You were in pain. You had all of this emotional baggage that you were not releasing, you know, and then learning how I saw things and giving it a chance. Not saying that he believes in everything that I do, but you gave it a chance and then you saw firsthand, like, oh, like this, okay, this part is real. Like, because now I'm living it, you know? And it happens from time to time again. He still has pains, but then I'm always asking him, what are you stressed about? At the end of the day, you're still stressed. What's happening? And then he knows what to answer to that in the moment in time. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, stress. And being a fitness coach, I learned too. Yeah, stress. I've always believed it in the sense of stress could be bad on the body. I just never knew to that level. And now I realize, oh, it could really go into that level. And then even going back to my masseuse, after everything has been good, she's like, what did you do? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I have my wife now. The crazy girl, yeah, we're married now. And she's like, well, your body feels like there's nothing here. Like
the tension is...
It's gone, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think we've learned about each other, though? Regarding that. What have you learned so far? Because, I mean, we're always going to learn.
I feel like what I've learned, it comes down to my little kid self being back with what my dad told me from when we were younger. That confidence is coming back again, little by little. Stop needing the facts, just go back to believing again. So being with you is making me go back into that kid self again. And like you're telling me with the kid self, I even have a playlist called My Kid Self.
What?
Yeah.
You haven't told me this?
Oh, I just made it like a couple weeks ago.
Are you serious?
But I made
I'm breaking through, guys. Jeez.
But I made this playlist that I used to... I've always learned that whenever I do listen to this type of music, which was obviously when I was nostalgia for when I was younger, and it's all, even as I've grown up, I've always listened to it, but I just never comprehended the kid self thing to it. But when I listen to it, it reminds me of being that kid again. When, again, that whole belief thing.
Yeah.
Like you could feel
like dreaming.
You could feel
you
you can do
know?
whatever you need,
Yeah.
like whatever you want. So when
You're invincible.
Yeah, when I play, I'm like game's on type of thing. And so, what I learned from everything is just remember. I guess more of remembering.
Yeah, but I honestly feel deep down, though you did not have the knowledge on how to be able to see what you've done so far in your life, I feel at some point everybody practices spirituality without them even knowing. And yeah, because look at where you're at now, you know, as far as even me, because I did not know the concept, but like coming back to you, how before you were just about like the Marine Corps and then going into cop, SWAT, whatnot, what you were doing, right? Like it was like, okay, I need to do something, I need to achieve a goal, whatever. And then when you got out and chose to be like, no, I'm gonna do my business, but business was never in your mind when you were younger, as far as like creating a business and being a coach or like teaching people, stuff like that you do now. And back then when you would say like, when you were like what, 20s, in your 20s, and you were like, oh, I love working out, I love bodybuilding, this and that, but this is, I'm not gonna do this as a career. Like this, there's no way. How am I even gonna make money doing this? Like, nah. And then you're just focusing on titles, like the titles of being a Marine. Okay, you got out. Then you're a vet. Then you're like, okay, I need another title. I need to work for another title. The typical titles, cop, SWAT, those are your main ones. And then
I didn't choose cop because of a title.
Well, I just
Because of Tom.
Oh, okay, your friend. But still, you still work through it, I feel like once you get into a field, you want to achieve the top name because you want to be the best at what you do.
Yeah, it's good.
Right?
It's good to have the idea of
yes,
being
but
a good
never
worker.
in your head did you say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to have my own business.
No, that was, to me, that was dumb.
Yeah, so then now, fast forward, you created a business now 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Created a business. You like got away from that, what would you say, negative mindset of thinking, nah, I can't, that is not possible, to like, hell yeah, it is possible. And I want to make it fucking happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care what I need to do. I don't care if I'm going to lose sleep. I'm going to make it happen because it's in my head. How do I make this happen? I know it's doable, but
remember too, I think my business was more fueled by proving.
Well, I feel like regardless of what it was fueled by, at the end of the day, you already were practicing spirituality in the sense that, yeah, someone told you you couldn't do it, and your mind goes, I'm gonna do it. Now because you told me I couldn't, watch. But you already started envisioning yourself doing it.
Yes.
Like if you already had it. Yes. Like you started feeling like, I got this business. This business is running. I got clients. They want to come to me. And it wasn't even done yet. But you were already feeling like you had it, So that is part of spirituality and manifesting. But obviously you still have to do work. It's not going to come to fruition like one day to the next, right? Like you still had to learn things about business. How do I open up an LLC? What do I have to do? Taxes, this and that, Like how do I get funnels and how do I create funnels and marketing? All of this stuff came with it that you did not know about, but you learn as you go with any business, This is how we're learning with our podcast, The audio, the lighting, this, that. But you already felt it. Therefore, it is already a reality out there in the quantum field. And while you're doing the work to get there, it's magnetizing to you. It's coming to you, And that's what you did with your business. Like, when did you officially start getting clients? When you started saying, okay, I'm gonna open up this LLC. Like, how fast did you get a client after you did that?
It was like that week.
You see, that shit was fast.
I was talking to my ex-wife's friend. I said, do you want to be my first client?
Boom.
I pretty much just sold her on it.
You see, you already had the marketing skills through the mouth. So that's an example of spirituality and manifesting. It's like the concept that Joe Dispenza talks about, which I really love. That is the main key. Like, in order for you to change, you got to feel like you already have that thing that you want, And with time, eventually it'll come if you're doing the work towards it, properly doing your best effort, not like killing yourself either, but trusting that goal will come to you.
Yeah, and I do believe that because even though I didn't understand that when I was younger, I've always done that with every goal I've ever done. So
you feel it.
I want to be in the military since I was 4th grade.
Oh, you see, you felt it.
Living it and feeling it. And then it happened. And then every accolade I got in the Marine Corps was because when I was thinking of doing it, I already believed I could do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. So it's going to happen.
You see?
And then now, recently having that same vision and belief with my new thing that I want to do with cooking, I was like, I literally had that same, I never ever, because now that, again, back to, you're getting me to remember again, it's like someone took over me. But old Gilbert is remembering again, and it's like when I had that vision, that feeling of the cooking idea that I want to be with the chef stuff is, oh, that felt amazing, and now it's gonna
Yeah, because like
happen.
you start seeing,
Yeah,
like you start seeing like what food you're making or how your plates are looking, and then you start imagining like what people say about your food, and then they get you more even hyped up,
yeah,
like
it felt
motivate.
amazing.
Yeah,
But it felt like it's that same feeling I had with everything else.
yeah. And what I've learned with you, as far as like being more analytical and factual, is just being more comfortable with having the facts of what is now and still working through them though. Because I used to be like, yeah, the facts may be those facts, but whatever. Like, I'm not gonna pay mind to it and then try to go against that fact that is kind of telling me, nah, girl, this is what it is. Like, pay mind to it, change it, do what you have to do to change that, and then you'll get to your end goal that you want, you know? So, not taking things personal. Like, I take things personal a lot from you. And it's been more like they say in spirituality that when you are with your partner is a reflection of you at the same time. So like when he starts pointing out things that I'm taking personal or that shouldn't be taken personal, and he starts sharing with me, hey, like you shouldn't even react this way or think this way, this and that. In the moment, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, nah, I feel this way. This is how I'm understanding it, blah, blah, blah. But then once everything settles, emotions settle, then I start thinking, oh yeah, he makes sense. Why am I even taking that personal? Like, I don't like that I take everything personal or an opinion personal. Because at the end of the day, like, I end up doing what I need to do. If anything, it is a feedback, like constructive criticism on what I'm doing wrong or telling me, you need to chill out. Like, you don't even need to react that way. Why? So, the fact, which is why I tell you, the fact that you ask questions, even though I don't like it, half the time, I do appreciate it though, because when I am on my own or like things settle down, I'm able to think like, and answer my own question, like why do I feel that way, or why do I react that way, like what do I need to change, so it helps me become better at the end of the day. That's how our side of spirituality and analytical and factual mind have come together thus far.
As far as like my approach with things, what do you think about like because you're always very nice, even though you understand how I am, you're always very nice with it. So what have you learned about my approach, I guess, that you respect a lot? Like with like even though you might think like, oh, that's kind of wrong, but I still respect the reasons why, type of thing.
But like what I said right now, like at the end of the day, I still respect the way that you think, because the way that you think as far as helping me reflect by telling me that I am either overreacting or taking things personal, or I am not thinking of things in the rational sense of any situation. You allow me to at the same time say my side, even though you don't agree with it. But then at the end of the day, you give me that perspective of thinking of the situation a different way and approaching it that way too. So having my mindset and then having yours allows me to see both. You know, obviously in the moment, it's a little bit chaotic because I don't want to hear it, right? But then I still do reflect. I still do that self-reflection. Like, how can I be a better wife or a better partner, a better friend, a better listener to you overall? So it entails for me to reflect also on things where we've been having disagreements, or I'm mainly the one that takes things very, very to the heart. Again, personal. So I have to think about it like, where is he coming from? What is he trying to tell me that I need to improve on in order to think differently that will help me become better, either at communicating or at achieving my goals? So, like, it helps me in that sense after the fact.
I think a good thing before we end this episode is one episode we could do in the future that I think we could get into. It might even be just a short episode, but what's your thoughts on when I tell you? Because I am very honest with you. And when we have disagreements, I have no problem telling you what I really believe. I'm not trying to beat around the bush and be like, oh, I shouldn't say this. Because my mindset has always been, and I guess it's because of my experience with relationships, is before it was like, let's not say something because it might turn into an argument, and then, or let's not say this or do this because I might lose the person I'm with because they might not like it. My mindset now is literally like, no, that's wrong. No, that's dumb. Or I'm
Yeah.
very dry. It's more just like I have no. It's not. I'm not trying to come off mean.
But like you have
I'm just
no
very
issue
honest. Yeah, there's
sharing
no
how
filter.
you feel about
Do you
it.
like this? No. But because my belief is, regardless, I love you, and you should know this by now. And if I
Yeah.
have to explain it, I will explain it again. But regardless, I love you. I want to be with you. I married you, and I want this to be forever. So, what is me telling you the truth? The truth should be the truth. Why would you want me to lie?
I mean, I tell you the truth too.
No, yeah. But I have no problem taking the truth. Okay. So, like, I think, like I said, I think it'd be a good episode because I feel like a lot of people, again, myself who's done it in real life, is I feel like a lot of people, it'd be a good episode to make in the future because a lot of people withhold how they really feel.
Yeah, in order to like.
In order to keep things good.
Yes.
Well, let's just keep it good then. Because I don't want to mess up anything.
But yeah, we should because I got plenty of those stories too, and I used to do that.
Mm-hmm. But what's your thoughts now that you have a partner who's just, was it a surprise, like a shock, like what did you tell me, like, you know what I mean, like that's like that was you, like, was it a surprise like that, like did this fucker just like
No, like you want to know the funny thing though? I did actually manifest him. Long story short, I manifested my husband. I have this like letter, and in it I wrote qualities of what I want in my husband, right? You think I even put like I want somebody to cook. He cooks, I don't cook. Anywho.
I want someone short.
And then in there I wrote someone that has emotional intelligence. And in emotional intelligence comes somebody that is also comfortable with saying how they truly feel without caring, in a sense, how the other person may feel. Of course, you're going to communicate how you truly feel respectfully.
Yeah.
But you're still saying the contrary, in a sense. At the end of the day, you're true to you, right? Like your opinions of it.
And
so,
if you leave me,
like you're not meant to be type of thing.
Yeah. Your fault then.
So I had manifested you like that. Literally all those qualities. Now, I did not know what that would entail though. Like living through it is a whole different thing. But at the end of the day, I'm still grateful. But I do, moments I'm okay with, and others I am not. I feel like I'm 50-50. No more or the other. Like, I can sit with it well. Oh, okay, cool, he doesn't agree with it, whatever. And then other times, today, I did not sit with it well. And it's like, oh my goodness, it's not even about whether I'm right or wrong. But at the end of the day, it's the fact that you still stand your ground. And I need to learn how to, like, let go of it. Like how you tell me, don't take it personal. At the end of the day, like, this is what I believe in. This is how I think. That's how you believe in, and that is how you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and it's something as simple. It's like, so they know. It's like it's
simple conversation.
I'm just like,
yeah, he's nice.
Wrong.
I if anything, I'm the one that starts like raising my voice, and like then I start getting like,
no, you're wrong, but that's okay.
Yeah. And I'm over here like they put the red like face like what? Like I'm not even trying to be right. But anyways, that's a whole episode.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Just be truthful.
Yeah.
Honest.
But I do have examples of where I was in those shoes, how you described. Like tiptoeing and then trying not to say.
Well, me as well.
Yeah. So on the next episode, we'll let y'all know. But I feel like with this episode, we'll wrap it up. And hopefully you learn that we also struggle with how we perceive things as far as like how our beliefs and how we approach things. I'm very emotional, very spiritual, emotional, and then factual and analytical, and how we've been learning.
Well, since the topic was spirituality meets logic, if someone was interested in looking into that, like, where should they start? Like, how did you start?
Getting into spirituality?
But just to end it, like, you don't have to get into the whole thing, but how would they start? Like, what were they?
First of all, you're going to have to want that. Why do you even want to dive into that? Long story short, my thing was like, I was going through a heartache. And I was tired of myself. Like, all I kept doing was complaining about life. So all I was doing was like a gun, right? Pointing the finger to everybody how they're wrong, and then I never pointed it to myself. Like, I've never done self-reflection. Like, what am I doing wrong? I think that's the toughest part. Once you get over that hump and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to look at my own flaws on things that I need to work on, then you dive. What helped me was podcasts, like self-help podcast, self-help books. And then I dove into that. The Jay Shetty podcast. There's a podcast in Spanish called Conquista tu Mundo. His name is Abraham. That one really helped me. My first language is Spanish, so I resonate more with that. But the context of everything is you need to be okay with your flaws, but you have to work at them. And you have to learn how to identify them. Once you start identifying them and working on them, then you start having goals. Like, what kind of person do I want to be? Because depending on the person that I want to be will also determine the partner that I will have. Because I will be a mirror of my partner at the same time. So that was a point where I was like, I like this. Like, it makes sense. Why do I want to seek a partner that is emotionally intelligent and I'm not? Or not even open to it? What's the fucking point? Excuse my language. You know? It would make no sense. Like, or I want a partner that works hard and then I'm lazy. What's the point? You know, you have to have that balance with that partner. But yeah, I went through that journey. So you're going to have to want it. You're going to have to reflect on your flaws, what you want to work on. You're going to cry. It ain't going to be easy. It's going to be hard. But it's doable. Takes time, but it's always an everyday job, though. For sure. But I 100% choose that than to being how I was before.
There you have it.
So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Share it with somebody that needs to hear it or that needs to resonate this with their relationship. But we'll see you on the next episode.
And go schedule a date.